It's October, and well, you notice I've winterized. Uh, well, here's for the hardware update for this month. I want to talk processors. Processors have gotten pretty interesting this last month. AMD has released an FX series and the A10, which is really nice because it works great for laptops. The A10 is a lower wattage but higher power processor. It also combines a video card with the processor. It's called an APU. I've talked about this previously, but the A10 seems to be a really good indicator of things to come when it comes to all-in-one processors. It's great because you get a lot battery life, but you get a lot of power behind it too. Should be interesting to see how much farther they take it before they switch to a different architecture. And speaking of switching to a different architecture, Intel is releasing a new series of chips probably within the next couple months, and it will be a new architecture again. They're not sure even if they're going to use the same socket 1155 or not. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I get a lot of questions, which system, when I buy a system, which processor should I buy, why should I buy it, whatever. And there's a lot of interesting things to look into when you ask that question, because it all depends on what you're using the computer for. In the case of a laptop, though, the A10 is really cool. Intel's new Ivy Bridge is nice too because it's also got a really good battery life. But the A10 allows for people like me, geeks that like to game, that comes with a decent enough video processor built on that it'll actually play games, it'll do your work. It's great from what I hear for computer-aided drafting because of the power behind the processor and the video card built integrated. That's that's one of the big things. Then again, I'm talking all about the A10, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. AMD has also released a full series of FX chips, which is just a processor, not a processor with video, which is designed for the higher end crowd. It's nice because of the price point. The price point is excellent for what you get. There's Intel's still a little bit faster, but the cost is drastically higher. And who knows what's going to happen in the long run with any of them. But, like I said, people ask, which one should I get? So, if you're doing basic web browsing, basic searches, an A4 in the AMD series would be fine, or an i3 in the Intel series would be fine. If you're doing actual, harder work, crunching numbers, spreadsheets, that sort of thing, an i5 in the Intel side would be great. And in the AMD side, you want to go with either an A6 or an A8. This would give you enough of processing power, and the A6 and A8 also have discrete graphics, so you don't have to worry about an extra graphics card if you're doing like 2 video monitors, that sort of thing. Now, the other stuff would be for the more intensive stuff, like the i7 and the A10s, the A10 desktop series, the A10 laptop series. I recommend only because the cost difference isn't much, and you get a drastic performance increase. But anyway, again, I'm digressing over to the A10 again because I'm just kind of interested in how cool they made it. But with the i7s, the A10s, the FX chips as well, this is all desktop. I could talk about server probably next time, but because they're coming out with new architectures and servers too, which is kind of cool. So so i7 would be computer-aided drafting, major number crunching, multitasking. If you're making virtual environments on your desktop for testing, i7s are great for that. So are the FX chips. In fact, the newest FX chip has 8 physical cores. It's one of the first desktop processors with 8 physical cores, which is kind of cool. Well, first manageably priced desktop processors with 8 physical cores, which makes it really nice for multitasking and really nice for setting up new virtual environments so you can play around with them on your desktop. This is something that used to just be reserved for servers and limited qualities on a desktop, which it's cool that they've come up with a new functionality that way. What else is coming out? Oh, video is going to be seeing another update. NVIDIA has released the 600 series, which currently has the 6. They had the 650 650 and the 670 and the 680. They've released a 660, which is a mid-range between the 50 and the 70. Go figure. Numbers-wise, it actually works. And the 660 looks to be a very promising card for anybody that's looking for a good video card, but not an amazing video card. Excellent for larger size resolutions, for bigger screens, for multiple display applications. And the 600 series is really good in the fact that it consumes less power than the previous versions did, which is actually a turn for them, because usually it's the other way around. They consume more power because they're more powerful, but this time it's a more powerful chipset that consumes less power, which is neat, and I hope to see that happening more. AMD also released its new video. There's the 7000 series. There's some higher end 7000 series cards that they released. I'm happy to see that AMD didn't go with what they were promising to do, which is just stay mainstream and not go with the performance environment, because there's a lot of room for development and inspiration in the performance environment that helps the people in the mainstream environment. Because, you know, us geeks, we like to make things go bigger, stronger, faster than the standard user would, but the technology used to make our stuff go bigger, stronger, faster ends up rolling down into the standard user's equipment, and then your stuff goes bigger, stronger. Well, your stuff goes faster. Usually not bigger, stronger, because you just don't need it. But your stuff goes faster, and it makes for better stuff for everybody. That's kind of one of the things I kind of dig the way it's going. The SSD environment's getting interesting. They're probably going to be releasing next year, sometime sooner than later, a manageably priced, again, like I said, manageably priced, because there's already one released, but I wouldn't call it manageably priced if it's in the several $1,000s range. 1 terabyte SSDs. Should be good to see. The biggest problem they're having is reliability with the larger ones, though. So hopefully they'll have that licked by next year, and we'll have tons and tons of non-spinning storage that works almost, 10 times faster than what we have now. I mean, it's not that fast, but I'm exaggerating a bit. But still, probably middle to the end of this year, next couple months, there should be a long line of tablet PCs coming out, smaller tablets, taking advantage, again, like I said, of Windows 8. iOS just updated, so it should be interesting to see what extra functionality that gives you. The iPhone 5, of course, released, so we'll be starting to see accessories for the iPhone 5, which will be really cool. Again, new technology, always progressing. That's what makes it fun. The Galaxy Note 2 should be releasing soon. It'll have a quad-core processor, as opposed to my current Note, which has 2 cores. 2 cores is fine, though. The quad-core, though, the bonus to that is it's going to have better efficiency. Better efficiency means longer battery life. And I love longer battery life. The more I can use my phone, the better. For other phones and tablets, there's almost every company's got something new coming on the horizon in regards to the telephone market. Telecom's getting very interesting as well, because it really looks like telecom's going to want to try and take the place of tablets. I don't think it's going to happen soon, but that's where the progress seems to be shifting, where they want you to have an all-in-one device that you can carry with you and do everything. So telecom would take the place of tablets. Tablets would take the place of the laptop. And the laptop, at some point, I still see it happening, not in the very near future, but the laptop will take the place of the desktop. For the standard user, that's a great thing. For us geeks that like to toy around with our computers and upgrade them every couple months, well, if we start using laptops more than desktops, we won't be able to do that anymore, but we'll adapt. We always do. That's about it for this month, and I will see you next month, and have a good one.